Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Aegis Kingdom, and in this class I'm continuing with the anatomy physiology for nurses digestive system, and in this class I am going to discuss about large intestine. Large intestine. So already we have discussed in the previous class small intestine, and in this class we are discussing large intestine. It is a continuation part of small intestine, and the word, if you hear that topic you can understand, ending portion is ileum. So it starts with now it starts with the ileum. The continuation part we call it as a cecum. The continuation part we call it as a cecum, and ileum and cecum forms a, these two forms a ileocecal wall. Ileocecal wall. Ileocecal wall. So it approximately, what is the measurement of the large intestine? It is approximately 1.5 meters, whereas small intestine, when you speak, it is approximately 30 feet or 9 meters, whereas large intestine is measures about only 1.5 meters. And what are the major parts of the large intestine? So I am drawing the diagram. See, it's a continuation part of small intestine. Then here ending portion is cecum, and continuation part is large intestine. So see the diagram. So please, if you draw the diagram, you will score your marks very nicely. See how easy I am drawing. You may say that madam, with experience you will get. No, not with the practice you will get. Not with experience, because I am not an anatomy physiology professor, but still I do teaching because this I practice more. So here I am showing the diagram. See, it is approximately 1.5 meters in length, and the parts of the large intestine is, the cecum is an ending portion of the small intestine, and the starting portion is ileum. So the starting portion of the large intestine is ileum, and when it is going up, automatically we will call it as an ascending colon. Ascending, you know that, ascending or descending. When we are going up, we call it as a ascending colon. Okay, so this portion we call it as a ascending colon, and when this portion we call it as a transverse colon. Transverse colon. When it is coming down, it is called it as a descending colon. And this portion where curve-like structure is there, is called it as a sigmoid colon. Sigmoid colon. And next kind of ending portion is with rectum and anus. Rectum and anus. This is about, see, just listen. It is enough, this diagram and content, if you are able to explain, that is more than enough. So its ending, starting portion is ileum, and when it is going upward direction, it's called it as an ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, and the corner before the rectum, the colon is there, it's called it as a sigmoid colon. And usually the cecum length about 6 centimeters. The cecum length is about 6 centimeters. Then and it forms like a ileocecal wall. Ileocecal. So here I have given an explanation. Duodenum, jejunum, and ileum is the ending portion, and the continuation part is cecum. Continuation part is cecum. So here cecum measures about 6.5 centimeters and width about 7.5 centimeters, and it forms a ileocecal wall. Wall helps for the passage of the food, and other times it is helping for closure. So it prevents the backward flow of the gastric contents. Ileocecal wall. And in this area only we will see appendix also. Appendix. In this area, in the wall, ileocecal wall area only, we will see appendix, also known as a vermiform index. appendix, vermiform appendix, and it measures about 2 to 20 centimeters length. It measures about 2 to 20 centimeters length. Average we can say 9 centimeters length is there, and diameter will be 5 mm. Diameter will be 5 mm, and it is located where ileocecal area is connected. In that area it is located, and this place the right side of the face. Usually when you have a severe pain on the right side, immediately doctor says appendix or appendicitis they will say. So this right side corner portion we call it as a McBurney's point. McBurney's point. McBurney's point will say, and means the right side lower abdomen. If you have any pain and that area, if it is heat and associated with fever and vomitings, then we will call it as appendicitis only. Okay, so that is the importance. And what is the blood supply of the large intestine is mesenteric artery and mesenteric vein. Mesenteric artery and mesenteric vein. So even the large intestine also makes some contents like absorption is taking place. After small intestine, whatever is important things are absorbed, and whatever waste has entered into the large intestine, in this portion also some of the contents can be reabsorbed. Some of the contents can be reabsorbed, and after that whatever waste products are there, it will be expelled out. That's called it as an elimination process. That's called it as a elimination process. So that is about large intestine. So it is about 1.5 meters length, and it is having majorly 4 parts: ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, and sigmoid colon, and continuation part with the rectum and anus. So this is also having a innermost layer will be mucous membrane, muscularis, and peritoneal layer, outermost layer. And what is the ileum and cecum, where small intestine ending part and large intestine starting part both forms like a ileocecal wall, and in this area only the appendix also is located. Okay, and so what is the clinical importance of this large intestine reading being as a nurses means? Most of the time the common word which we know that this can lead to, suppose so much of reabsorption is there and the regular bowel pattern is not there, then the fecal material will become very hard and difficult to pass. That's called it as a constipation. That's called constipation. And so many times even infection occur to the large intestine and small intestine, so that we call it as enterocolitis or colon infections. And the people who have irregular habits and all, they may have chances of getting even colon cancers also. Colon cancer. And in some children, this rectum or anus may not be formed properly. That is called as a congenital disease. So this is all about large intestine. So major 2 functions: it absorbed nutrients, and the next one is helping for the elimination process. I hope I give you valuable information. If you really like my class, please do subscribe and share. Let somebody get benefited.